Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. It's Mike Rains with Remax Terrasol here in the Orange County real estate market of California. And I wanted to start off the new year just trying to get to the answer of how did we get to this current market that we're in. So to start the year 2023, we're sitting at fairly low inventory. It's the second lowest inventory that we've had in the last 10 years. But we also have low demand. And interest rates are up around 6 1/8 right now. So how did we get here? And the story actually goes back all the way to 2020 in the pandemic, when the federal government started buying mortgage-backed securities to the pace of $1.3 trillion. And so what that did is that drove the Fed rate down to zero, if you remember. So the overnight rate, so car loans, credit cards, not all, but some, personal lines of credit, all those types of things went down. But also what went down was mortgage securities. So when somebody went out to get a mortgage back then, at the very low, you got a mortgage rate of about 2.5, 2.75 at the low, and that was insanely low. So what I want to say is that this was all about abnormalities. So what I mean by that is that at the time when the pandemic hit, you had an abnormally low amount of inventory because people weren't moving around during the pandemic, but you had this insatiable desire to buy a house because of the 2.5% interest rate. And so with the 2.5% interest rate, to purchase was insane. You could buy so much more house back then than you could at a regular interest rate. So you had interest rates that were super duper low. You had super duper low inventory, and you had this desire, this demand to buy a home. And so with those three things combined, that's why we had the hot and heavy market from 2020 all the way to last year. And so what's changed is that the Fed has now been raising those benchmark rates consistently to try to tackle inflation, because everything started going up: housing, food, gas, everything like that. So the Fed has reversed course and had started raising rates. And so now the interest rate's at 6 1/8. So last year at this time, it was 3.25, let's say. So just in 1 year, from last January to this January, that's a massive amount. So some buyers have gone on to the sidelines, but some buyers are still in the market because they see the value and the amount of rent that they're paying. And now they're coming back to the market desiring to be in it, but they have to absorb a higher interest rate. So that has eliminated some of the buyers. So you have a little bit of muted demand, but you also have still low inventory. So it's actually a little bit more of a balanced market, and it's going to kind of bump along until those interest rates change and or people's incomes rise and we have a softening of the pricing. So it's all going to get balanced out. So what's happening is that the average time to sell a house right now is 84 days. And actually, that's kind of normal. So people have been used to this. I put my house up on Wednesday. I get through the weekend. I have 20 offers to get through by Monday morning, and we're opening escrow. And right now, buyers are just taking a little bit more time. They don't want to just settle on anything. So it's very, very crucial for sellers to have an appropriate, correct price for their property. No longer are the days where they're going to just price it wherever they feel like it because there's going to be multiple offers and all that kind of stuff. That frenzy is no longer, and it's not going to happen this spring when more people come into the marketplace as well. And buyers, don't lowball a bunch of people because there's not enough inventory and there's no kind of foreclosures or short sales or any kind of distressed property. That's not a mix of the market right now. So you have regular sellers that are wanting to move around. And by the way, we're going to have challenges with inventory because when you think about it, if you have a 2.5%, 3% interest rate, unless you have a big event in your life, like a death of a father or mother or both, a job change, some kind of divorce, maybe some kind of compelling reason, like I have to move, there's going to be a lot less inventory because people are kind of settled into having what they have and they don't want to sign up for a higher interest rate right now. But if you're a buyer in this market, what I recommend is getting out there, going through the process of finding the location, price, the style of what you're looking for, negotiating your best deal. You will have an opportunity to be able to refinance that property in the future, probably a couple of years down the line, as things normalize and they get the inflation under control, they are going to start lowering those interest rates back down again. And so these are always come in cycles. So don't sweat it. You're going to have that opportunity to do that. Now, if you're a seller in this market, it's crucial to have your property ready to go, clean. I would recommend staging, just so you want to make that home look appealing. You also want to have the price right. Because buyers buy emotionally and then they justify logically. So after they get all excited about the kitchen and the upgrades and all that kind of stuff, if they feel somehow it's not the right price, you might find them being extremely picky on the house going forward in the investigation of the property and inspection, stuff like that. And a lot of people, have found a few things that they can't live with and they back out of the deal. So that is happening. So I just want to encourage you to have the right price. This year is going to be lower in the number of transactions, but you're not going to have massive price reductions. You're going to have a softening, but you're not going to have massive. There's the fundamentals don't support any kind of a market crash in real estate. So anyway, I hope that helps. I hope you're successful at what you want to do. If you want to buy or want to sell, I want to help you be able to be successful in that. So those are some of the tips. And I hope you guys have a happy new year. Thanks.